This just in, Ohio State locking up a victory versus Penn State on 3rd and 3. Will Howard with the quarterback keeper to secure the first down and secure the victory. As Ohio State get a big win over Penn State to improve to 7-1 on the season, 4-1 in the Big Ten, make it a 2013 final. No touchdowns in the second half of this game. It was 3 field goals traded in this one. The Nittany Lions fall to 7-1 and fall to 4-1 in the Big Ten. That means Indiana and Oregon are the only unbeatens left. And for Ohio State, their first road win versus an AP Top 5 since 2006. Welcome inside our HQ studios. We're here to wrap up some of the early games, starting with this one. Jeremy St. Louis alongside Damien Harris and James White, who apparently is impossible to cover.
I've seen it, people. I've seen it from my own 2 linebackers, safeties, corners, you name it. Sauce Gardner couldn't cover this guy. I'm serious. I'm so serious.
We got that out of the way. Let's get some reaction to this game. Obviously, this was a big game for Ohio State, a big game for Ryan Day. This was kind of like one of those, perhaps a little bit of a tone setter, kind of seeing where Ohio State is at because they've had some struggles on offense. What did you think of the performance today from them and getting the win?
Well, the biggest thing for me was the way this offensive line responded. I mean, they were down to their 3rd tackle, and that's been the hype surrounding Ohio State all week, is how are they going to fare without their starting offensive line? How are they going to fare with a struggling run game with 2 of the best backs in Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson? Well, they answered that question today. They were physical. They pushed Penn State around, who, by the way, was the 8th ranked team in rush defense coming into this game. They pushed them around the field. The backs they had lanes. They created once they got to the 2nd level. And to me, that was the biggest difference in the game because Will Howard, he played okay. He didn't play phenomenal. He had a couple turnovers. There were a couple plays where he didn't look like one of the best quarterbacks in college football. But I'm telling you, the dominance of the offensive line, the way these running backs showed up today, they set the mentality for the entire team, for the offense, for the defense, for everybody. The team rallied around that, and they were able to out-physical, outplay Penn State for a full 4 quarters, and that's what led to them getting the win today.
I have to give credit to the Ohio State defense. Jim Knowles, they played physical, the front 7. They were able to attack Penn State. They limited Katron Allen, Nick Singleton, 52 yards rushing, averaging about 3 yards per carry. If you eliminate Penn State's run game, they're not very good at throwing the football. And then plus their secondary came to play. Igbinosun, huge play right before halftime. I don't even know how he caught that interception.
Right.
Snatched it
Unbelievable
away from Wallace.
play. Yeah.
That really shifted the game. And Ohio State offensively, they had opportunities to take this game and put it out of reach right before halftime. Will Howard fumbles the football.
Correct.
Jeremiah Smith had a play, got behind the secondary, didn't see the ball, slowed down running, didn't make the play. So they had opportunities to separate themselves, but with all being said, they stayed controlled, stayed composed, and made huge plays, especially the 4th down stop. I mean, Kaepernick is going to look back at those 4 plays.
Yeah, I mean, can we talk about this for a second? I know we're talking Ohio State, but Penn State, what the hell was this offensive display that we saw today? But I'm going to start with Tyler Warren. We saw him take over Penn State's final drive. He got them all the way to the 1-yard line by himself, and then 0 touches from the 1-yard line. What is that? Why did Tyler Warren not get several targets during the game? It was like that drive was the only time they made a point of emphasis to get him the football. And when they did that, it worked. And when they didn't, they had 0 offensive production. Your leading receiver was your running back. Your leading rusher was your tight end, Andy Kotelnicki. You know that you don't have the most explosive guys, the most explosive playmakers at the receiver position. As such a great offensive coordinator, it is your job to get these guys in position to have offensive success. We did not see that. The play calling early was it was shaky. They started doing these unbalanced formations at a time where it seemed kind of desperate. Like he knew he couldn't move the ball. He wasn't calling good plays. So he's like, okay, I'm going to go deep in my bag and start pulling out some tricks. Well, that shows that you're not confident in your ability to just call the right plays and get these guys in position. So for me, this was an entire meltdown for Penn State offense. I know, again, they don't have the most horses in the stable when it comes to the skill position, but Andy Kotelnicki, you have got to do a better job moving forward of getting these guys in the correct position. That way you don't have a situation like you have today.
That's what it's been for Penn State in these games versus Ohio State. It comes down to these 4th down. We got to get the ball in the end zone on 4th down. You do 3 straight direct runs. I feel like if Drew Aller just kept the ball
just
one time.
Oh, my goodness.
Nobody was respecting him as a runner on those plays. Just keep it one time. Even if the coach called the run play to the running back, keep eyeing that defensive end. Take it yourself. Or they try to, on 4th down, run the cute little play, get the little play action. You should have ran that on 1st down because they knew you were going to try and run it on 1st and 2nd down. Run that play on 1st down. I think they're going to look back at those 4 plays, and that's going to haunt them.
8 straight wins for Ohio State over Penn State. To your point, Warren, he had 4 receptions for 47, 3 rushing attempts for 47. And you mentioned Singleton, 6 receptions to lead the team with 54 yards receiving. So Drew Aller, though, I mean, didn't throw a touchdown today, did have the interception. We weren't sure whether he was going to be featured in the game today, but did manage to play. So, I mean, for Penn State, where do you go from here knowing that, I mean, this seems to be just a psychological thing at this point?
Well, I mean, when I watched Drew Aller play today, I wasn't disappointed when I saw him, but when you watch the receivers, nobody was ever open. I don't know if that was play calling or I don't know if that was inability to just find the soft spot in zone or win one-on-one man coverage. Today, Drew Aller didn't play his worst game. I don't think he lost in the game. I think it's a combination of, again, play calling and getting these guys. I mean, when I talk about play calling, it seemed like guys were running man-beater routes against zone coverage and vice versa. They were running zone routes against man-to-man coverage. So it's play calling. These guys have got to find a way to get open, whether it's finding the soft spot, whether it's working your man, getting open. Like Drew Aller, there were a lot of times where he was taking sacks, and when they would show the replay, nobody was open. I mean, obviously some of those situations he could have thrown the ball away and, you know, lived to fight another down, but guys just weren't open. So if you're Penn State, you have got to find a guy outside of Tyler Warren that can step up and be a go-to guy, because Tyler Warren, he can't do, they're not going to win a national championship featuring their tight end all for the rest of the season. They need somebody, whether it's Nick Singleton, whether it's one of these receivers, somebody has got to step up and get more offensive production, because they're just stalemating every game on offense.
For Tyler Warren, for the offensive play calling, I think they should have stretched the ball vertically more often with him. You saw the one time when he caught it on ransom up the sideline. He's bigger than everybody that's covering him. Just give him an opportunity. Maybe some of the other guys, the receivers, they're not able to make those plays, but if you get Tyler Warren one-on-one, he's the best player on the field. Get him the football. I don't think all is lost for Penn State after this loss right here. They sit back, get back to the drawing board, figure out how you can beat man-to-man coverage when you're facing good secondaries like Ohio State, because if you want to make it to the college football playoff, you're going to face good secondaries. If your guys can't get open consistently, you're not going to win.
And we saw it with their schedule. I mean, they've got winnable games the rest of the way. And because of the fact that it's now Indiana and Oregon that remain the 2 undefeated teams in the Big Ten, it now makes that penultimate game between Indiana and Ohio State potentially for a spot in the Big Ten title game at this point.
It's going to be huge. And Penn State, they had the perfect opportunity, but they just let it slip right through their hands. So now Ohio State has the opportunity to go up against Indiana and prove that they're the better team and face Oregon for a rematch for the Big Ten championship. I mean, and that is because Penn State just did not do what was needed to win the game. It's a reoccurring theme with James Franklin and this Penn State team. So because of that, now we're looking at Indiana and Ohio State as whoever wins this game is potentially facing Oregon.
The best, I mean, you could have 3 one-loss teams and Oregon if they stay undefeated, right? So you've got Oregon in the Big Ten title game, but then you've got Ohio State, who gave the other 2 teams their one loss and got their loss, versus Oregon playing in the Big Ten title game for a little bit of redemption. I mean, that's incredible. It's the way the Big Ten is, you know, the way it's kind of laying out. It's laying out as this is going to go right down to the wire.
This is what it should be. It's the best competition you can is turn it into a mini SEC.
No.
We can get 6 teams.
Yeah, okay. Name them right now. Name all 6 of them.
We can get Ohio State. We can get Oregon, Penn State, Indiana, and then probably stops right there.
Okay. But no, you're right. This is what college football is about, and I think that the sentiment is every game is important. Every game from here on out is a playoff game. I mean, I know we're still in the regular season, but every game for almost every team right now in that top 15, top 18 range, it's a playoff game. And even if you win, now you're looking at style points. You know what I mean? So this is the competition that a lot of people were looking for and searching for. And I think with this 12-team playoff, it opens up opportunities like this. I mean, even we talked about it earlier in our show, the potential 3-way tie we could have in the ACC.
I know,
you know, there's a lot of things going on.
It's fantastic, and that's what we love to see. That's why we love college football. We came into the segment talking about a guy who's uncoverable here on St. James White. Another guy who has been largely uncoverable is Jeremiah Smith. He set the record today for receiving yards at Ohio State by a freshman, beating Chris Carter's record. Still needs a touchdown to set the touchdown record. But how special is Jeremiah Smith?
This kid is one of one. I remember watching this kid in high school at Chaminade Madonna right here in Fort Lauderdale. He's a beast. He's physical. He has the speed. Can win in man-to-man coverage. He ran a great out route earlier on in this football game. Did have an opportunity to make a big play down the secondary and wasn't sure whether he lost it in the sun or he wasn't aware of what was going on and wasn't expecting the football. This kid is a special talent. He's going to dominate the Big Ten for the next couple years, and he'll be a top 5 draft pick, 100%.
For sure. I mean, when you look at the kid, he's got all the measurables. I mean, he's tall, he's thick, he's long, he's rangy. I mean, and whenever you see him play, he plays with that physicality. He goes up and attacks the ball. He runs very, very smooth, crisp routes. And it's very rare to see a guy with that type of finesse, but that type of power as well. I mean, he showed it a little bit too much in that Oregon game when he got that offensive pass interference and, ended up, I won't say costing the game, but, made a penalty that made their chances of winning a lot less. But this guy, whenever you turn on the tape, whenever you watch him on Saturdays, you are looking at an all-time talent for this Ohio State receiver room. And this is a room where we were just talking about Marvin Harrison Jr. You've got the Chris Olaves. I mean, I could sit here and name all these guys.
Yeah, wide receiver
wide. Whoa. No, but I ain't gonna say it though, because we had some boys now. We had some boys.
I had to get it.
But keeping the main thing. Jeremiah Smith is truly a special talent, and we are lucky as college football fans to watch great young guys like him, solidify themselves as some of the top talent in this game.
4 receptions for 55 yards for Jeremiah Smith, and Ohio State get a huge victory over Penn State today. We'll see what the poll implications are, of course, of this on Sunday. We were talking about this earlier. Perhaps maybe a little switch. Maybe Penn State falls to 5. We'll have to wait and see. What we do know is that they now have a loss on their record to match Ohio State. As we take a look at Ryan Day's record versus AP top 5 opponents, gets the win today versus Penn State. He improves to 6-0 versus Penn State. Likes playing the Nittany Lions, and so do Ohio State. Now 8 straight wins against them as well.